Deputies who killed a suspected car thief and a 6-year-old boy will not face charges. Attorneys seek reduced bail for the husband of a missing San Antonio businesswoman. And Mayor Ron Nirenberg appeals to Congress for aid in curbing I-35 congestion. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Thursday, March 14th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. A Bexar County grand jury has declined to indict 4 sheriff's deputies who killed an unarmed suspect in a car theft and a shooting that also resulted in the death of a 6-year-old boy. The decision comes over a year after the deputies opened fire on 30-year-old Amanda Jones in Schertz on December 21, 2017, who was hit multiple times and killed after officials say she stood on the front porch of a mobile home and threatened to shoot them. Inside the mobile home was 6-year-old Cameron Prescott, a first grader who just hours before had started his winter vacation from elementary school. Authorities say one of the bullets the deputies fired at Jones pierced the home, fragmented, and struck Cameron, who was walking in a front hallway. Wednesday, Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez stated he thought the grand jury made the right decision in finding no probable cause that a crime had been committed. Cameron's grandfather is a San Antonio police officer and noted that he was upset with the grand jury decision but offered no other comments. The boy's mother and father have also yet to offer comments on the decision. The shooting followed an hours-long chase through northeast Bexar County, which started after a man reported his car had been stolen and that he knew where to find the suspect. Authorities say later that morning, deputies found Jones hiding in a closet at a house, at which point she showed a gun and threatened to shoot a deputy. A nearly 2-hour manhunt followed, and at one point, Jones ran to a mobile home park in Schertz and broke into the mobile home of Cameron's family. Authorities report as officers closed in on her, she stood on the porch holding something that deputies feared was a firearm, with all 4 deputies firing at Jones. While it's possible the woman had a gun earlier in the chase before she was shot and killed by deputies, a weapon was never located at the scene of her death. While a small independent search for his wife continued, Wednesday an inmate accused of trying to destroy evidence in her disappearance sought a reduction in bail. 40-year-old Andre Sean McDonald was arrested March 3rd for tampering with evidence in the case of 29-year-old Andre Nicole McDonald, who was reported missing March 1st when she failed to show up for both work and the gym. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar alleges after the woman's disappearance, her husband tore apart a receipt detailing the purchase of a shovel, an axe, heavy-duty trash bags, work gloves, 2 5-gallon containers of gasoline, and a burn pit he was going to use to dispose of her body. Andre McDonald's attorney has urged the public not to rush to judgment, and Wednesday filed a motion for a reduction in the man's current bail set at $2 million, noting that the Bexar County bond schedule recommends the appropriate bond amount for a third-degree felony be set between $5,000 and $15,000, and that as his client is a major in the U.S. Air Force Reserve, he can be directed to live on base, which would not pose a flight risk. As of Wednesday, after a week of periodic searches, including around Joint Base San Antonio Camp Bullis, authorities have yet to find Andre McDonald and believe she is dead. And this week, San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg told Congress Texas needs help from Washington to prevent the worsening highway congestion in the San Antonio-Austin corridor from stifling growth in a region he calls America's next great metropolis. Tuesday, Nirenberg delivered his testimony to the House Transportation Subcommittee on Highways and Transit, which is beginning the task of reauthorizing the nation's 5-year transportation bill that expires next year. Nirenberg was testifying in front of Congress for the first time since elected mayor in 2017, and was also representing the National League of Cities, which is pressing Congress for a new and modern way of dealing with transportation rather than the recent stopgap approach of emergency budget bills. Nirenberg noted he hopes Congress will give priority to achieving regional mobility in areas like San Antonio, stressing that legislators in the capital need to understand that transportation is changing swiftly with innovations like ride-sharing and e-scooters, calling the I-35 corridor from San Antonio to Austin a fast-growing stretch that by 2040 will exceed or rival Dallas-Fort Worth. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Thursday, March 14th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.